Yo, TTMT, what's
Yo,
up?
what's going on, man?
We back,
It's
baby.
time for that time we back. We back.
Man,
It's
we
time to
back.
get busy.
We back.
It's time to get busy,
I know
man.
y'all missed us, man. I know y'all missed us.
Exactly.
Write in the comments,
We're
what I'm
back
saying,
on
what
our
y'all
grind,
missed
guys.
about us already, man. Right. Go on ahead. Right about it.
Exactly.
Because we're here. We're
Exactly. We're
back,
back on the
baby.
grind.
We're back. I'm gonna
We're
tell you
back
who's
on the
not back.
grind.
I'm gonna tell you who's not back yet, man. I don't know, man.
Who's not back?
But that
Who's
man,
not back
I
yet,
don't know
bro?
if Diddy gonna make it back
Huh?
out of this, man. I had to put my
Diddy? I
shades
think
on.
Diddy's done, bro.
I think Diddy might be cooked, bro. He might be cooked.
Diddy
He
might
might.
be cooked, man. You know what's
Now,
weird, bro? It's that his name. Why did he come up with the word Diddy? Because that Diddler thing, it's like, it's kind of like it's weird, right?
He's a
Like
he's
it
a he's
just goes.
been, yeah, man. He's a that name is a problem because of the time, man. Somebody, I don't know why anybody would
Exactly.
say that, but it came up, and then
Exactly.
now it's like it's been used against in the court of law, which is crazy,
No
man.
Diddy.
No,
That's a whole word. I wonder if Diddy's making money off the whole no Diddy thing.
man. If
Somebody should be making money off of it.
he got to make sure you trademark that name. I'm pretty sure he did. It's a very smart businessman. Now,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying. And, sometimes people say, uh
Mhm.
no press is bad press. You know what I'm saying? No press is
Exactly.
bad. He's got plenty of press,
No
so
press is
that,
bad. He
you
got
know
plenty of press.
he got plenty of press. So that means that
Mhm.
that name is gonna be big either way. You know what I'm saying?
Either way, exactly. Exactly,
Man,
bro. So let's get into it, bro. What are we talking about today on the Next Level Nation, bro?
yeah, I thought we was talking about the Diddy thing, but I guess we're going somewhere else with it. And my little
No, we
light.
good with it. We good with it. We good. We good. We going on Diddy today, man.
Light
Today is our
went out.
we on Diddy time. Huh?
My little light then went out, but that's cool. That's cool. Y'all get to see me. You get to see the nighttime version. You know what I'm saying?
Nighttime version, the nightshade version.
The nightshade version. Y'all understand? Look, man. I got it
Mm-hmm.
had to get dark in here when I say this. There's some
Mm-hmm.
crazy stuff going on with this Diddy joint, man.
This Diddy
Last
trial,
time we
yeah.
talked about this, man, we were talking
Mhm.
bottles of baby oil and
Exactly.
all type of stuff, bro. Just stuff found in his
Mm-hmm.
home. Like
Mm-hmm.
this like goes back to last year, man. This man's been incarcerated maybe like almost a year now, maybe more than that.
Bro, more than that. I mean, the trial started in May 12th, 2025, but he's been in jail since 2024, bro. September 24. So he's been in there for quite some time. We're coming up on on um on like September right now. That's the crazy part about it. His
It's
house
crazy.
was raided in March 2024 and he was arrested in September 24. You know, kind of that whole weird situation. His jet was somewhere else and they claimed he was out of the country, but then he was
Mm-hmm.
really still in the country. But it seems like when Patrick Day was talking about that, he was warned ahead of time that they were going to come to his house. So somebody told him ahead of time, like, yo, somebody's coming to raid your house. Don't be there. You know what I'm saying? So
Man,
that's a very strange thing.
you a billionaire that don't know if the police are coming for you? That's a big problem.
Exactly. And supposedly he had the police on record or had them on like on payroll or certain types of police officers he had on payroll, which is kind of which makes sense if you're a billionaire. You do want to be able to have individuals on payroll in terms of being able to facilitate certain things. So I think a lot of times, a lot of the people that were victims that he was dealing with, they pretty much were scared to do anything because he literally had police officers there that literally would be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Some situation where there was a story where he had kidnapped this girl's baby. The police came to his house to get the baby, and all of a sudden he brings out some money in a bag. The police decide they're not questioning anything. The girl who came with the police, they were like, yeah, she claims that this is his baby. So unfortunately, you have to go. And I don't know how that worked out or any type of situation, but it just goes to show you, man, when you have money, money talks. You know, it doesn't make any difference what you're trying to say, hearsay or anything. Money talks, bro.
Mm-mm. Money talks big time, man. You talking about that, man? I'm watching this Pat Ben David wrap up of the situation, man. I'm just like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's this point where Pat's like, yo, if you got any kids in the room, you shouldn't have had them watching this anyway. But we finna go down the rabbit hole about some stuff. Man, he talks
Yeah.
about this Macy situation. So,
Okay.
Sean John has this major deal with Macy's, right? I mean, like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
millions of dollars. And
Okay.
P. Diddy walks into the store and
Mm-hmm.
walks up to like this person or somebody in the store, probably a worker there, and he drags him to the
Okay.
back room with his goons, bro. He has goons with him.
What?
He has big dudes with him that drag this guy
Yeah.
back to the back room. Now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he starts talking to the guy. He's threatening him.
Mm-hmm.
Then apparently, allegedly, he makes this man perform fellatio on him
What?
in the
Crazy,
back
bro.
of a
Diddy would
Macy's,
have to die. Bro, he couldn't be me. Because Diddy would
bro.
have to die. Diddy would be
Bro,
assassinated, bro.
back of the Macy's, he makes the dude perform fellatio on him, and then gives him a nickname. He calls him Echo, and I'm like, where have I
What?
ever heard the word calling somebody Echo? Now it's like code. Now that I learned it, I'm like, hold
Mm.
on. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, this
Hold
is
up. Wait a
crazy.
minute.
So wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
we're not quite
Mm-hmm.
finished. After this happens,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
the sales associates start passing out Sean John stuff to all the people who may have heard or even
Oh
been
my
in
gosh.
the
Crazy.
vicinity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then, like a manager or something gets fired for,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, just being there. He basically
Okay.
got fired for
Just
being
for
there.
being in
Just for being there
being a
because Macy's
witness to
wasn't
the crime.
right. So, but
Mm-hmm.
it's out there. This is not no hid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
story. This is something that's like really out there. This is like already been
That
reported on by
actually
so many
happened.
people. It
Mm-hmm.
actually happened. It's been
Yeah.
reported so much that it's like, okay,
Uh-huh.
like this really did happen. It to some extent it happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, and then Macy's is
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, they basically, covering it up to make sure they could finish that deal with Sean John.
Wow.
And I'm just like,
So they covered it up,
yo,
swept
that's
that
power.
under the rug. For that,
Talking
that's
about
power. That's money.
power.
That's
Bro, you
power,
make
bro. When you could just do whatever you feel like
like I'm gonna just
at
walk
any
into your
time.
store and do this, do that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just, I just, pass out some extra clothes. Nobody says nothing. Nobody looks, other people look the other way. Probably pass out some money, and
Mm-hmm.
people look the other way, and we just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird that you should say that because this is the whole thing, bro. Like we're hearing all this gay Diddy stuff. Like supposedly when I was listening to Vlad TV, Vlad was saying he was talking to Whack 100. He was like, "There's really no proof of anybody saying that Diddy did anything to them." But we got these Meek Mills, that Meek Mills things going around with him, doing something to Meek Mill, and then Meek Mill spending all this money trying to clear his name. And I remember someone showed me some video where he was calling him, "You did your thing, daddy." I ain't calling no dude daddy.
That's
Who is
wild.
calling another dude daddy?
Not you
You
did
did
your
your
thing.
thing, daddy. What?
Nah,
What are you talking
nah,
about, bro?
nah. See, this is the reason why I can't go and teach
Mm,
and say "daddy"
yeah.
in my classroom, bro, because the kids, even the kids,
Have a
are like,
connotation.
"Yo,
Yeah.
what
Yo.
are you saying right now?" I can't even use that
Yeah,
regular
exactly.
word anymore because Meek Mill
Exactly.
wants to use
It's
it.
been ruined.
It's been ruined.
Thanks to R. Kelly and P. Diddy, you destroyed daddy. Then my
Can't
daughter
use.
was like, "Can I call you dad?" Because I'm used to calling my father when he was alive daddy. I had no
Mhm.
problem with that. It was never a filthy word. It was never
Never,
nothing bad about it.
never.
Never nothing bad. Now my daughter's like, "Yeah, can you call me? Can I call you dad?" I don't even like calling you daddy. And she was like, I was like, well, why? It's because the connotation is off. And I was like, I understand, but that's how I came up and grew with it, you know?
Like, yeah,
So
you know where this word originally came from. Now, come on, don't act
exactly,
like this
exactly.
is like 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 come on, like for real. We can't say like not,
Mm,
I even feel weird because I guess of social pressure that
mm-hmm,
I usually wouldn't even use the word, but now it's been
uh-huh.
used in that context. I'm just
Negative
like
connotation.
I can't
Yeah. It's like
I'm tired of people. Man, let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about stuff that we can't even.
mm,
We'll get back to Diddy in a minute, but let's talk about stuff we can't even
yeah,
use no more because people have turned it
yeah.
into something so
Mm.
negative, bro.
So negative. It used to be gay. It used to be actually like you're happy. I mean, I've never been in a situation where
There
anybody,
you
hey
go.
man, you're so gay, bro. You know
Man,
what I'm
you're so
saying?
gay,
But
bro. You're having the greatest,
it
gayest time ever.
exactly. But
It's very old
it
word
really
though.
needs to be happy. It's
Yeah,
been changed over now. It has a different connotation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Which is
You know what I'm
wild because
saying?
I'm like, yo, you can't use. There's so many things, bro, that you just can't use no more. Like
Mm,
like
like what?
before all of this this giant movement of this push for the LGBTQ
Mm-hmm,
community, you know the
mm-hmm.
rainbow was a promise
Yeah,
made with God. Now it's like
a, a
now it's
flood.
the whole
Exactly.
movement like you're like it's flooding your timeline and it's representing something totally
Mm,
different. Another
yeah.
sign that threw me off that's older than
Mm-hmm,
we think it is the swastika.
mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
swastika
true, because it's actually Indian. It didn't
is
start with Germany. It started in India, actually.
right. It actually it's yeah, but it's all over the world too on ancient
Yeah, it's
buildings.
all over the
Sure.
world. Correct.
It's
Yeah,
not it's something that's not that wasn't
mm-hmm.
synonymous with that movement until that
With
movement
evil.
came up and then came up with propaganda
Mm,
like we're talking about this daddy thing. You can't use
yeah.
now it's been used in the propaganda movements. You
Mm-hmm.
can't use it no more. You know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like man, like getting kind of getting back into the Diddy thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
now they're trying to use things like it's wrong. It's completely wrong. But they're trying to say that having somebody having somebody flown out to you or
Yeah. It
vicinity of you is now sex trafficking. If you have
that's
them
crazy
perform,
to me
yeah, yes, it's matter of
because
fact, it's not sex trafficking, it's human trafficking.
it's human. You know the crazy part is weird about. I was talking to my friend, talking to Patrick one time about this, and the strange part is that like that's the whole thing where that boxer in the 1920s got in trouble for, right? He got in trouble for transporting a prostitute over state lines to have sex with that individual. Now it's like you have all these things. Like one thing that Patrick Ben Davis was talking about, and I thought was interesting, is that now we've got like people who, if Diddy decided this person he flew them in, now it's sex trafficking because he
Mm,
flew this person in to have sex with his women or partners. Now, which is kind of weird because, and then it's like now they're trying to get him on drug charges because he happened to use drug fueled sexual encounters with the male prostitutes that lasted for like several days. So now him having transported those individuals over or paid for it and paid for them to be there. Why is it the weird part about it is that you actually have people who are male escorts that are legal escorts, but it's their choice to to um to um to receive money based on, but it's not supposed to be based on sex. It's supposed to be based
right.
on you accompanying them or being able to be in their presence or them going to like an event for the company. You're escorting them to do something. Now, if you happen to want to have sex with you afterward, that's basically on their own consent. You know what I'm saying? That's not really anything to do with I'm swatting this cat because this cat is very like fascinated with the light. I don't know why
Let,
he's over here, but
let them be
anyways,
fascinated with eating in a shot. He ain't hurt
He's
nobody.
trying to get in the shot. The
Nobody,
cat's trying
man.
to get in the shot, bro.
Let him in the
Yeah,
shop.
cat
Yeah,
wants
he's
some. He wants some
already
shine.
done.
He wants some shine.
I see him
I don't know what
swatting
he's
people
doing on.
sometimes. They know he's there now.
I'm trying to swat him so he can get out my face, but he's trying to be in the shot. It's really kind of weird because it's not anything to do with food. He's just obsessed with the light. I have no idea. Sorry, he's just obsessed with
Maybe
the
that's
light because I'm
Diddy's
looking.
problem. That's Diddy's problem. He's
It must
obsessed with the
be.
light, man. He wants to be
He's
that light
obsessed with
that
the
makes
light. I have
everybody
no
feel
idea
real.
why. I
It's
think Diddy
wild.
just doesn't want to be forgotten. You know what I'm
Hey, bro.
saying?
Nah, man. Oh, my joint is
Mm.
crazy. Yeah, you can't be forgotten when you like moving around like a super villain. Apparently,
Exactly.
they're trying to say, that he broke
Mm.
into this guy's house, opened presents,
Kid Cudi. Yeah.
moved presents around, blah blah
What?
blah. It's
He
just like
is. He is
terrorizing
a
the
supervillain.
man. I was like,
Did you hear?
yo,
Bro, he's a modern day supervillain. Someone was saying that the other day because he broke it. Supposedly, this is what happened. He broke into
yeah,
Kid Cudi's house,
tell
stood
it to
there while
TMT.
while the car was on fire, right? And was
Mm-hmm.
laughing. Kid Cudi comes into his house. This man's laughing, ha ha ha, like basically like everything, like a supervillain, looking at his car burning from the balcony and just laughing and turning around and be like, "Yeah, I did it. I actually burned up your car. I put it on fire." Because the last thing he said to Kid Cudi is that I'm gonna put this man's car on. I'm gonna put your car. I'm gonna blow your car up because he was dating. Supposedly, he was dating Cassie at the time, and he got jealous. He's like, "Man, if you don't stop seeing Cassie, I'm finna blow up your car." So he blows up. He lights. I guess a Molotov cocktail was put onto thrown at. Of course, Diddy did it himself. Didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? He had somebody else, maybe one of his goons, do it. And this car, he lights this man's Porsche on fire, and is in this man's house, laughing at him, and has his back turned to him while he's laughing.
Wow.
That's some gangster villain type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what money. That's
That's
money
some
right there.
gangster.
That's some
That's
gangster money
money.
stuff right there, man. You bored. You got money, and you've been just
You
doing
got
this way too
that's the
long.
problem. Way too long.
You've
That's
been
the
doing this
problem. I
way too
think that, bro. But you know what? Patrick Ben Day was saying that somebody taught him how to do this. Like he didn't just
long. Oh,
overnight just start doing this. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You don't just overnight be able to make these type of moves
Talk about it.
and you could be able to put hits on people and start, eliminating people. I feel like it started with Clive. Supposedly, it started with Clive Davis and and um and the also the president of Def Jam, Russell Simmons, because both of them, Russell Simmons got in trouble for his little kind of issues going on,
Yeah.
alternative lifestyle situations, and him, kind of looking like he was kind of on the alternative lifestyle, and he kind of trained Diddy and also Clive Davis. See the cat? So Clive Davis is also, said that he was bisexual. And then Russell Simmons supposedly one of the one I think it was Gene Deal said he went with Puffy, the bad boy, to Russell Simmons' house, and a man was in a bikini in Russell Simmons' bed. So you ain't have no man in a bikini, you know what I'm saying, in a
Mm-hmm.
speedo if you're straight, brother. You know what I'm saying? That
You know
that
what I'm
bird
saying?
ain't flying straight. You know what I'm
That bird
saying?
flying straight.
That bird don't fly straight. Now, these are the people who kind of really kind of groomed, you know what I'm saying, Diddy. And Gene
Yeah.
Deal is saying a lot of this stuff is that he been groomed to be this way, so he grooms other people. It's almost like the abuser situation where people are abusers or child
Yep.
abusers or sexual abusers or any type of abusers. They naturally start, unless they broke that cycle or that generational curse, they
Yeah.
start grooming other individuals because it was done to them. So now they're doing it to other people. They're just rehabbing those same type of habits, those same type of things in other people's lives because it was done to them.
It's wild, man. Because I keep referencing this Pat Ben David thing, man. But it was pretty comprehensive. It came down to a lot of stuff that you're talking about too. Just adding
Mm-hmm.
and piggybacking to that, bro. Big
Mm-hmm.
words here. Hurt people, bro. And
True, hurt people hurt people.
sometimes
That's
people want
real.
to know why. sometimes the why is just because they got hurt first.
Yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
make it right, but
Yeah.
either way, it's most of the time it's bound to happen to the next person that that last person got hurt. So it's like, yo, so they're tying that
Mm,
story in, bro, with a
mm.
school that P Diddy was supposed to be going to
Really?
when
Oh,
there was
Mount
like
St.
these three
Michael's.
guys, there was like these three, yeah, there was like these three boys that
Mount St.
apparently got,
Michael's High School
yeah,
in New
they were
York.
like,
Yes,
yeah, they
I
were like,
almost went to that school, bro. Almost. Actually, I got
oh,
accepted, and it was going on because I went to Cardinal Hayes High School in New York,
mm-hmm.
and I got accepted to Mount St. Michael. My mom was like, "No, yeah, they touching boys over there. No, we ain't. You ain't
Oh
going there.
Lord,
You ain't
man, you
going
was gonna
there."
get, hey,
I think
bro,
I
you was gonna
cried
get
because,
Clive, man. You was gonna get
bro, I
Clive.
was being saved, bro. I could have been Clive Davis over
You
there
could have been Clive
or
Davis.
Diddy over there. I don't
No,
know,
Diddy was
bro.
getting
I don't
Diddy.
know.
Maybe that's his origin story, bro. You
It
never
could be his
know.
origin story, bro.
That could be
You
his
never
origin
know.
story. That
He
could
could have got
that's
touched there, and then he just kept the abuse going later on in life. You know what I'm saying?
that's it. That's it, man. You
That's
get touched
crazy,
by
man.
somebody that powerful, bro. You either become powerful or you
Bro,
become nothing.
I think how old is Diddy, man? Because I think Diddy and me are close in age. He might have been going to high school at that same time I was going to high school. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he might be a year or two ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine that? That's crazy, bro.
It is, bro. It's like it's wild, and I'm like, yo, hold on. So there's this report of these three boys that were getting touched at the school, and Diddy is
Mm-hmm.
supposedly have been going there almost at the same time or at the same time, and
Mm-hmm.
Clive Davis ends up in that debacle some type of way,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yeah.
it's all maybe tying itself together. It
Mm-hmm.
somebody that powerful,
Mm-hmm.
actually being able to go into a school like that and affect a life like that, dog, is crazy, B. Man, because who are you gonna
Bro, it
tell?
crazy.
Who are you gonna
Exactly. Who are you
tell?
gonna tell? Who's gonna believe you as a kid? That's the
Who's gonna
problem
believe?
about sometimes. Exactly, it's the problem about sometimes these kids who are being abused is that they're so scared to tell. They think they're gonna get in trouble because it's such a shameful act. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
they're ashamed that they're even in the act, and they're at the same time they don't want to tell because they feel like, man, I'm gonna get in trouble for doing something I know I shouldn't have been doing. I know that it was already wrong, and maybe I did something that caused this in the first place. And that's the problem with the enemy allows situations like to be covered. You know what I'm saying? Instead of exposed, because when you expose things, then it comes to the light, and then you can get healed. It's almost like a wound. You really can't heal a wound until you expose it, right? You know what I'm saying?
right.
You gotta get alcohol. You gotta anesthesia. You gotta put something on. You can't just leave it open and
A
just
lot
cover it up
longer.
without putting anything on. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yeah, man. It's like that.
Man, I was like, yo, this is wild. And I'm like,
Mm,
come on, man. Like, Pat goes into a little more detail, you know what I'm saying, about why Diddy
mm.
might actually just make it out of here. He might make it out of here
Yeah.
with with nothing on him. Maybe a couple,
It's possible.
pops on the wrist,
It's
and
it's
he's saying that the same people that were doing um
mm,
the same prosecutor for Epstein
for
and
Epstein
somebody
is
else is the
mm,
same prosecutor for him, and
and that whoa, that leads to something though, bro. That
it's
leads to
like,
something. That means that she was placed there for a purpose. You know what I'm
bro,
saying?
he might just get let off scot free. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it was the same. I
Could
think it was the
be.
same prosecutor for OJ,
Oh wow, OJ.
which takes it way, it takes it back, bro. So he's like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
this person, is picked
Mm,
personally to do this. You know what I'm saying?
personally.
So it's like
Yeah.
maybe, like,
Mm,
yo, but it all goes back
yeah.
to what I've been saying, bro. Who
Mm.
did Diddy piss off, bro? That's
Bro, we
how
know who he pissed off.
feel like he made somebody
Diageo.
mad. He made Diageo
Bro,
mad.
bro, listen, even 50 Cent, when we went to this podcast summit, he said that Diageo, and Diageo owns like a large amount
Don
of the
Julio,
like
Casamigos,
Don who
um,
Smirnoff,
Smirnoff.
bro,
What's the one with the milk in it? That one. Bailey's. They own
Bacardi,
a lot of
Bailey's,
stuff.
bro,
Bacardi, they own a lot of they own a lot of spirits.
bro. Can you imagine? And it's so weird because it's called spirits, right?
Yeah.
So the strange part about it is that they own so much. So they have long money, and a lot
Yep.
of these companies they have generational money. This is not just like okay money here and there. These guys have money that they've invested in politicians, in the police, in what I'm saying. These if they can
Hmm.
get your house raided, they can make a phone call. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Diddy's acting up. You know what I'm saying? Send out the DEA to his house and tap him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you have people that powerful and you try to sue them, and they're the ones who made you rich in the first place, because if you start looking at Patrick Ben David's list of all the makeup of Diddy's wealth, majority of his wealth is made up of his liquors, his combination with Diageo or his collaboration with them, right? Made up
Hmm.
majority of his wealth. And if you look at that, he promoted that brand, and it got it to he's made them several millions of dollars with that brand promoted because he did a great job because he's one of the best promoters in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's one of the greatest marketers in the world. So he made sure to get that brand out there, and it produced a lot of money for them over. This is not over a 2 year period. This is like a several year period. It's almost 10 years or more. I think they had a
Yeah, it's almost
collaboration.
like
So
17.
yeah, it's been a long time.
It's a
So
long
they've
time.
had this over several years. So all of a sudden, but at a certain point, Diddy is realizing, yo, I don't own. He doesn't really own it. They made it look like Ciroc, like he owned it, but he really was just a spokesperson who
The
had a
hype
certain
man.
percentage. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He was a hype man. And they're like, yo, he was like, well, you're disenfranchising me. You're not giving me as much money as I feel like I deserve because I literally have put this on the map. They're like, yeah, but guess what? It's still our brand. We still own it, and we own you. You know what I'm saying? And don't ever get it twisted. So people don't understand that he had when he sued them, there was a settlement, never been disclosed, quote unquote, right? But
Hmm.
supposedly he won the settlement from Diageo, but guess what? We don't know how much money he got. But then he's already embarrassed the company. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
embarrassed the company and he won, but he didn't win. Because now they're like, you know what? You embarrassed us. You try to get more money out of us. You got what you got, but guess what? You know what? Now we're gonna retaliate and we're gonna get you back. And now we're gonna take away everything we ever gave to you because who decided to put him in position? Did Clive Davis or Russell Simmons even put him in position to even introduce him to these people so they would work with him? Because they got their money already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not who you know, it's who knows you. When we talked to the other gentleman who was talking about the music industry, and that's how it works. It's not really who you know, because you could know somebody, but are they willing to do anything for you? Now, Puffy, we know how Puffy is. Puffy's one of those, I'll do anything and everything I can to do whatever I need to do. So he could have did whatever he needed to do to make those things happen. You know what I'm saying? Because Clive
Yeah.
Davis gave him the money, the fun money for Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
he could have been grooming him, and there's rumors out there. I'm not gonna that his assistants has seen him walking in on a high profile individual, giving sexual favors to. You know what I'm
Woo.
saying? But that's all
Yeah.
hearsay. You know what I'm saying? That's all hearsay. So we don't know. There's no proof. It's all we hear is people talking about stuff. So is he really that way or not? But the people who have been grooming him, they tend to be on that alternative lifestyle. So we're starting to see the results now. Go
Which is
ahead.
crazy, man, that in your 80s, you're like, yo, I want to do a tell all about my lifestyle and blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah,
yo, why?
Exactly.
Why now,
Yeah.
yo?
Exactly.
Like, you really need the publicity right now. Like, what? You're this old, bro. Like, why? And
Exactly.
then
For what reason?
this whole Puffy thing, I'm like, bro, I told people like a year ago, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He got that
Mm-hmm.
settlement right, and
Mm-hmm.
like a month later, they raided his house. I said, man,
Exactly.
look,
Exactly.
but like Puff was talking so. I think he just got so
Mm-hmm.
reckless with it, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's reckless. Jay-Z's
he
not
got.
reckless. He should be on the list too, supposedly.
I mean,
Supposedly. Jay-Z's
but
involved with
see,
that stuff,
they're not.
supposedly. By
They're not.
hearsay.
They're not gonna do. They're not gonna do two of them at one time. That's gonna. It's gonna make
Exactly. Nope.
people. It's gonna make people sympathetic to
Exactly.
to. I feel like it's gonna make a lot of people, the audience, more sympathetic toward black men if it's more than one at a
Or
time. That's why it's always
true.
like
And then it'll be like a
one
murder.
at a time, bro. There's no
Yeah.
there was
Even
nobody
getting
in
famous
trouble.
too.
There was nobody in
Yeah.
trouble when Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson was in trouble. There was nobody in trouble when
Exactly.
OJ was in trouble. It was just one black man.
And
And
R
then
and
there
what
was
and R.
nobody
Kelly
in
too.
trouble when R. Kelly was in trouble. Right? It
True.
was all about
Yeah.
R. Kelly. Everything. So now
You can only do one at a time.
that's how I feel about comedians, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
comedians
don't let
too.
like one black dude be hot at one time. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Kevin
and what I mean
Hart.
by hot is I don't mean,
Yeah.
oh,
Mhm.
our audience likes him. I mean, like, the
Yeah.
world gets to see this guy. There is no
Yeah.
like, there's no
Mhm.
like, there's no two black
Mhm.
comedians that are like, there's no two Kevin Harts at one time.
Yeah.
There
Exactly.
was
No,
no
it's impossible. They
two.
won't allow it.
There was no two kid. There was no two Chris Rocks at one
Eddie
time.
Murphy's
There was no
or
two
Eddie
Eddie
Murphy's.
Murphys at one time. There was nobody as big.
Yeah.
There was nobody as big as that. Nobody.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and people are still struggling to do an Eddie Murphy type situation. The only person that hasn't struggled
Exactly.
to do that is Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart he
Exactly.
just, they just working him.
The doors are
I believe
open.
they're working Kevin Hart. I don't believe Kevin Hart's working that hard, bro. I feel
Kevin Hart
like
says he's a clone.
he's working hard, but somebody's making him do all of this extra stuff, bro, or make him feel like he has
Bro,
to do all this extra stuff because he's in every single thing
he's
that.
everywhere, bro.
If he's
Bro,
not
let
only
me tell
if
you
he doesn't
something.
own your liquor, he's making
Yeah.
trying to make you laugh. If he's
Yeah.
not trying to make you laugh, he's trying to make an action movie to make sure he covers all the bases. He's
Yeah.
he's if he's genuinely doing it, that
Mm.
generational wealth is going to be crazy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very busy dude. But like I
Very
was getting,
busy dude.
mm-hmm,
Mm. But you know what's
getting back
funny?
to the
Because Anthony,
thing.
so get back, but I just want to stay on that 1 second. So getting back to the one black guy that's always successful and only being allowed to be successful, Anthony Mackie, who's like I guess he's blowing up like as Captain America. Like who is the guy now? Like it's either Denzel Washington, right? It's
Yeah.
or Anthony Mackie right now, or like the guy uh, um from um Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
like Anthony Mackie's having his time. He said he says I don't think that you really can be successful, and in these industries they give you success. They pick you.
Mm.
It's
Yep.
not really something to do with anything that what you do personally. We can use this guy fits our agenda, and that's what we're using. And we got to talk about Sinners real quick before we end too, because I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you've seen that. I haven't seen it, but I hear a
Well,
lot of
you know what I'm
stuff.
saying? Yeah. So what I was getting to or alluding to about the Diddy situation is that he
Mm,
really pissed somebody off, bro. And it's like I want to
yeah.
inform people of what's going on. Like he
Mm-hmm.
didn't just work with these people and then decide to get uppity. He was
Yeah.
working with these people and he
Mm-hmm.
wanted a little more stake in what was going on. So he
Mm-hmm.
decided so they decided to do another deal with a different type of liquor that he was going to
Yeah.
a tequila, I believe. That he was going to
Okay.
be getting more money. He was going to get more of the share of the profit from and more of the
Okay.
equity of it. But at the same
Okay.
time, they decided to promote it as an urban drink. instead of just a
Okay.
drink. Instead of going to a world
As a
market,
drink.
they didn't
Mm.
do it as a world market. They called it an urban thing, and then after calling it an
Yeah.
urban thing, which brings the market to a niche
Shortens the
market
market, of course.
instead
Exactly.
of wide open and making a lot
Mm-hmm.
more money. Instead of out here,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
made it they made it like this. Excuse me.
Mm.
So first they did that. So they're basically disenfranchising this guy, and
Of
they gave
course.
him something. They gave him something to be
Mm-hmm.
over, and then all of a sudden they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hold on." They're like
Mm-hmm.
reins. They're holding. They're pulling out his collar.
Pulling reins, yeah.
So they're like,
Exactly.
"Okay, cool." Then he starts going out to the places where they make the tequila. Everybody else's
Mm-hmm.
farms are blossoming and doing everything. His farm is empty.
Yeah.
The place where he's supposed to get his stuff from is non-existent.
Wow. Yeah.
So what I'm saying, he takes his trip out there personally, but then he
Uh.
takes it out there personally, publicly. He doesn't just
Mm.
go. He
To
doesn't just say,
show, make a
"Hey, they're
show.
doing me bad." He's showing that they're doing me bad.
Yeah.
He went out there with the camera crew to show that they're doing him bad. None of
Wow.
his stuff is getting made.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're basically backdooring him, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, I don't like it this time."
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Yo, what's going on? Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I actually get a
Mm-hmm.
stake in something, y'all don't want to do what y'all would regularly do.
Yeah.
Like, when we actually got a stake to make some money, and I'm going to make some more money." So apparently, he
Mm-hmm.
pissed them off before
Yeah.
this, you know.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
that's how I feel. I feel like he pissed them off before
Mm.
the deal.
Mm.
And it's like, whenever you decide, it's like we're starting to watch these black male figures decide
Mm-hmm.
to do, and it's just not for black people, but it's
Mm-hmm.
important for this message that
Yeah.
we understand that as soon as they decide to do something
Mm-hmm.
um big, you either
Mm-hmm.
end up blackballed, killing
Mm-hmm.
yourself, or
Yeah.
or
Or going
murder,
out on
or
drugs,
going to jail for life,
or going to
or
get, or
going to
get
jail
into
for
a
something,
weird accident,
or
or
you go to jail
accident
for
happens to
something.
you.
You go to jail for something that you've been doing for years, and
Exactly.
no
Like
one
Michael,
said
what
anything.
was it? The football player for dogs.
Oh, Mike
Who
Vick,
was the guy?
you go to
Michael,
jail for something
Mike
that
Vick.
everybody's doing. And
Exactly. Why does Mike Vick go to jail for it? That make
now
no sense.
look, I'm not advocating for everybody who did something wrong. What I'm saying
True.
is
Mm.
that everybody stood by. Everybody that didn't support them today stood by and
Mm-hmm.
watched them do that thing earlier in the year.
Exactly. They were collaborators.
You saw you
Mm-hmm.
saw R. Kelly with a
Mm-hmm.
14 or 15-year-old Aaliyah
Correct.
singing on stage, singing the songs that she
Mm-hmm.
sung. You
Mm-hmm.
saw that, said
Yeah.
nothing.
Correct.
Nobody put anybody in jail. Nobody
Yeah.
went after him.
Yeah.
Now, you may not have seen the other girls' parents
Mm-hmm.
dropping them off for a
Exactly. We.
weekend or weekends or
Exactly.
being paid. You didn't see
Yeah.
that, but we not
Yeah.
at the same time we're not arresting the parents.
Exactly. This is, and that's the problem right there, bro. It's not. That's what the thing is. Diddy himself is not the problem. There's other people out here doing Diddy like stuff and have been doing and still doing it now. And
Still
we
doing
just
it.
haven't caught. They haven't been caught, or they're just under a certain power structure where they're shutting up. They're not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? But
Why?
he's on. It's not exclusive to Diddy. There's other people in that industry who are doing just as worse, if not worse, things than Diddy does. And anybody who was surrounded and connected to him while he was doing it, y'all part of it too. Don't think it wasn't just a one man. That's one thing he said. Like, you can't have a one man Rico. What's a one
No.
man Rico?
Wait, what is this? I'm like, no, y'all gonna go reach back into all this other stuff. Then y'all getting
Mm,
into his personal life with Cassidy or whatever her name is,
yeah,
and
Cassie.
then, but at the same time,
Mm,
You know, she this it's so crazy how things are set up.
mm,
And sometimes I just believe certain things are set up a certain way because honestly, if I was a
mm.
super villain, I would do it that way too. I would have
Sure. I mean,
if I wanted Diddy to go down, I would have Cassidy
yeah,
up there pregnant too, giving her
exactly, because it
testimony,
makes sense.
giving the worst
Exactly,
parts of her life while she's pregnant.
exactly,
If I wanted to put him
exactly.
away, this would be the best time
Mm,
to freaking do it.
of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
exactly.
And
And
it's
you could
just
have
like,
paid them
yep,
to get it done. You could have been like, "Hey, yeah, you know what, y'all? Listen, man, I got to get this cat. When y'all gonna have some kids? Y'all having some kids? What you call? I'll pay y'all to have some kids. So by the time the pregnancy comes up, hey, we're gonna put you on the stand because we
hey
want
man,
we gonna get Diddy,
it's time. I'm like,
bro.
yo, like this is wild. Now it may not, may not happen that way,
Mm,
but I'm like,
yeah,
just hold off pregnant. Now she's a mother of another kid. And
mm,
your husband's there, but he was getting the text messages around the same time you was
mm.
getting them to go
Exactly.
do
So
these
she's
things.
not completely innocent. That's the problem too. We thinking Cassie's innocent. Cassie was talking about she couldn't wait for these freak offs.
Like,
Like,
please,
you're
I
texting,
can't wait.
you know what I'm saying? Can't wait for these freak offs. And then we're looking at this thing, a testimony from this supposed Jane, former girlfriend of Diddy, who is afraid to leave him because he's paying her 10K rent per month for her home. She's talking about the same things. She's like, I'm sorry, I did him. I didn't want to do all these. He was making me have all these, making her have all these sexcapades with all these male prostitutes. And then when she was tired, he would give her ecstasy, so she would keep on going. And some of these would last 3 or 4 days. And then he would be like, she says, I just want to spend time with you. And they were like asking him, like, why did you stop? Oh, because I was deeply in love with him and I wanted to please him. So I would just like, no, you
No,
obviously like this because
no,
you're not just gonna be having sex with multiple men and not enjoy it, and then all of a sudden, if you don't like it, you just want to do it to please because you're that love with Diddy. No, man, because he's paying your rent. He's taking
yep,
care of all the Coachella bags. You do
yep,
like having sex, obviously, with these guys. You could act like you were complaining. You could have easily just been like, I'm just gonna get a job and go and leave this man. You know what
and
I'm saying? You
do
were
it regular.
used to the lifestyle, regular degular. You used to the lifestyle that you were getting. You know what I'm saying? You were involved in this lifestyle, whether you felt good or bad about it. It's not like he didn't ask you several times. Like he was like, "Yeah, let's go. You're gonna meet you at this place." He probably had her picked up. She probably drove in the Range Rover that he bought her. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? Come on now, don't act
it's
like you're
it's
so
kind of
innocent about this.
it's kind of wild, man, to watch this unfold like that with with
Yeah.
the with the text messages of I can't wait for this next freak off type situation going on.
Mm,
Well, I don't know what's going on, but
exactly.
I'm giving this testimony about P Diddy, man, and my throat getting dry. Pause.
Yeah, man, that's Diddy,
Listen,
man, trying to put that thing on you.
Diddy, man, cash on me.
Diddy from what's called. Supposedly Diddy had what did satanic rituals in his house and stuff.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of this stuff is satanic, bro. It's spiritual. You know
here
what I'm
we go.
saying? So
It's big.
any it's big spiritual. Like if this guy was chanting satanic stuff and putting things, because you have to remember, I remember this girl was going on. She went on one of these shows, basically with TMZ. It was saying they were doing stuff in there. They had kids in certain rooms dressed up. You had celebrities out there. There this other guy, Jonathan Hay. He's a producer. He did stuff with Biggie. He did stuff with Marilyn Manson, Johnny Depp. You say, man, all these people in this area, in this type of Hollywood type of stuff, that's what they do. This is normal, common stuff for them to do be freak offs and orgies and all this type of stuff. That's normal stuff. He just got messed up because he pissed off the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? And felt
Yep.
like he was being disenfranchised. And he could only go to a certain level. And I only think that even in that industry and in this world, particularly in certain places, probably in the entertainment industry, they only let you go to a certain level if you're a black man, and you're not
There
going past that level. You're not going to Elon Musk levels. That's not
it is.
happening. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna
Yeah,
go to Elon Musk levels unless you're like that guy
man.
Robert Johnson or one of these other guys, hedge funds guys who happen to be really, really good at making money and nobody can stop you. But then even those guys stay out, their business is out of the streets. You know what I'm saying? But Diddy, I think he got reckless, he got careless, he got arrogant, he thought he was in a different position. Just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean there's trillionaires out there. They can
There's
put you down. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
People don't think there's trillionaires out there. There's trillionaires out there now. There's people out there who will blow your mind, who have a different level of money where they can shut all your stuff down. They don't even
yeah,
have to
man.
have the money. They can just
They
have the
just
power to do it.
they just opened up the
You know?
floodgates on him, man. It was like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, this you
All
don't wanna
right.
sit down. All right,
You
all
you
right.
want to sit down? All right, we got you. We got
It
you.
took
We got you.
it took a couple levers to get it done, but
Yeah.
they started open they
Mm,
opened the floodgates on P. Diddy, bro. And it's like all you can do is
exactly.
just watch the wave. Like I'm going on
Yeah.
my Amazon
Uh-huh.
on the TV and I'm watching like P.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy trials.
Mm-hmm.
Da 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 Diddy this, Diddy that.
Yeah.
YouTube's full of Diddy stories, bro. I mean,
And they're making money off of this too now.
surviving.
The
They got like
newspapers are making money.
this surviving Diddy thing, bro. And it's
Yeah. You know, 50
like,
Cent's in on it too. Making
oh,
money from it.
man.
50
They
Cent is
but
trolling hard on him.
50 Cent. I want to say this: 50 Cent and his whole crew, like going back to Dre and
Uh-huh.
Eminem, they were always trolling
Yeah.
people who were doing this type of craziness, bro. Like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Eminem stuff was picking at other people who were doing
Yeah.
this. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't him
Yeah.
saying I do this. It was him knowing that the industry is
Pick.
like this, saying it out loud, and people
Mm,
not realizing that it wasn't him that he was
mm.
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm saying, you
It's
know,
like
they
it slicked inside. Because he did
hold
some he
on.
talked about Diddy in his raps.
Yep, he knew.
Yep.
They knew.
He
They
talked
knew
about
all that crazy stuff was going on. Like, did you see where speaking of 50 Cent,
mhm,
he was talking about a party that I think
mhm.
Diddy was at and Meek Mill was at, but they were wearing
Uh-huh.
matching shirts.
Okay.
And at that same party is this infamous line where Diddy was like, "Man, I want to take you shopping,"
Yeah,
and
yeah. I remember. I saw that. I saw
he was
that
like, "I want
on
to take,
Breakfast Club.
hey man, you
He's
should
like,
let me take you shopping." And then he
uh,
looked, and then he was like, "Man, at that same party, him and Meek
uh,
Mills had this on the same shirt, documented
uh.
a picture with both of them with the same clothes on." And 50's like, yo, what's going
Yo,
on?
I'm not down with it.
Then
No, I'm not down
you
with
got those videos. I think it's like the Arsenio Hall show, bro. It just goes back,
it.
right? And Diddy
Mhm,
sitting next to Mike Tyson, and he
uh.
puts his hand like next to him a little bit, and even Mike Tyson decides to just kind of he
Really?
Mike Tyson is adjusting himself, bro.
It's uncomfortable. Mike Tyson getting uncomfortable.
Mike Tyson gets tight around you, bro. He had to
That's
move.
weird. Because
You made Mike
that's what I'm saying.
Tyson move to the edge of a couch, bro.
That's
In
weird,
his
bro.
prime,
Well, he could have knocked him out.
man, he
You
could
know what I'm saying?
man killed that man.
Man, that's crazy. And you know it's funny because Diddy came on Breakfast Club and they're like, Diddy, why did you ask 50 Cent? Don't you think it's kind of effeminate to you ask him? He said, no, man, I just feel like he needed some clothes. It's like I just feel like he needed some clothes. Talking about 50 Cent. He's like, I just feel like he needed some clothes, man. You know what I'm saying? He was like, it was like nothing to him. He's like, I feel like he obviously saying that 50 Cent you can't dress, or I'm gonna treat you like a woman and I'm gonna dress for you. You know what I'm saying?
Just
So
wow.
50 Cent probably felt like he was coming at him in that kind of homosexual kind of way. And like, yo, bro, why would you even tell me I need clothes? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't buy clothes for another man. That's kind of
You really
weird.
don't, bro. And I feel like, bro, they now now whether this is a coordinated attack, I believe it's a
Mhm.
coordinated attack against somebody who was
Mhm.
already doing something really, really bad.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. They're already doing something bad.
the fact that they got this same lawyer from these other cases,
Mhm.
it might mean that he just might get off with something light.
With a slap,
But
a
I think
slap.
they
I think
really
he's gonna get off.
they're
I think he's
scaring
gonna get off.
they're shaking him up, bro.
They are
And
shaking him up. I don't think he's really scared based on the fact that he said that he talked to the court drawer who was making him look all old. He said, "Man, you need to soften me up. You're making me look like a koala bear." I was like, Diddy still got jokes, bro. But you know
yo,
what? This is how I feel because he still got his money, man. He probably got people in jail doing stuff for him in the commissary or whatever they got. You know what I'm
bro.
saying? He's
But
probably living the life right now.
he's missing his assets. If I was watching the Pat Ben David thing the right way,
Uh-huh.
he's like down half a bill. He's down
Yeah,
half a
I mean, it's
billion
okay.
dollars. That's a
And
lot.
you
That's a
know
significant amount of money.
that's a lot of
You
money. But you know what? You know, a lot of stuff that we see, it could be conjecture. Like how much? I mean, his lawyer fees cannot be taking $1 billion. He could still. You have to remember, he's been making this money for a long period of time. Maybe when the people assess how much they think he's making, because I really don't think they have that much access to the amount of money that P Diddy probably put in other places. And anybody with that amount of money has probably put it in Switzerland, put it away in different places. He got money other places. And
right.
when people try to count your pockets, you really can't really tell. They're like, oh well, he's making less money. This could just be propaganda. I mean, he is making less money because of what's called, but that's just the standing of what we see. He might not
But
make $1 billion this year. You know what I'm saying? But we
but
don't
man,
really know.
$500 million is a
It's a lot of
little
money.
for a small group of people, bro. That's a
True.
very small group of
Correct. That's
people.
a country.
Who,
That's like a country.
that's that's
Yeah.
the GDP of
That's like
somebody's country, bro. Um,
exactly.
so I count that as not a I can't count that as as a small hit, bro. Like you've been
True.
working with a company for almost let's say like 15, 17, 16 years, and they
Mm.
offer you a deal of almost a half a bill. Like
Mm.
like if you get that half a bill taken away from you, that's not a small amount of money. I know even if
Correct.
you got other money,
Exactly. No chance.
that's
Yeah.
still. I'd understand if
Still
he
a
was
lot of
like
money.
if he was Jeff Bezos, I'd be like, okay,
Mm.
that might happen any given day to a Jeff Bezos. He might
Mm.
lose that. But
Yeah.
or Elon, he might lose that. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm.
might drop in
Mm.
one day. But
Yeah.
that money comes back. What
That money
he's
comes
doing
back.
with
It's not coming back.
liquor, what he's doing with liquor,
Yeah.
ain't
It ain't
that
coming
deal
back.
ain't coming back. That deal
That
is
deal ain't
not
coming. It's
coming
over. It's
back.
dead.
That
Mm.
deal is done. And it gave you your
Mm.
half a bill to get you to the billion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, the billion that we know of,
That's what I'm saying. The billion.
the
That's what I'm
billion
saying.
out
This
in
is the
the real
billion
life.
that we know of. It could be even more money than that because a lot of times we think just because somebody says it in the media, that's what it is. He could have
Mm-hmm.
way more money than that. We
He
just
could.
don't know. I mean, because if quote unquote, if he's doing, I hate to be doing all these air quotes. I'm just doing it because just because. But the thing is the thing about propaganda is it looks like it's the truth just because it's publicized, but that doesn't mean it's actually the actual truth. And it's not. And people really could try to count your pockets based on what they see on the outside, but you don't know what illegal things that he's been doing outside of that, supposedly, or non-illegal or legal things that he has invested in that he's making money that's outside of this. Maybe the majority of the money that he has comes from that portion, but that's the majority that's been seen in the public. That doesn't determine what has been done outside of the public eye or under the cover. Because supposedly him doing all this stuff, I've never seen a RICO act or a RICO uh, raid on one person based on them having sexual escapades or just having drug fueled sexual encounters with male prostitutes. That's never been something that's been, you know what I'm saying? This is going beyond that. This is like saying he's transporting drugs. He's got a whole drug business that he's using. People are doing that all the time, and they're not going to jail for that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to jail for a RICO case with one person. A RICO case is usually on a group like the mob. He's one person. You know what I'm saying? And if you're convicting him on a racketeering, on a RICO case, then you should be convicting the people around him that enabled all this stuff too. Because why are the other people not being convicted? Why are the male prostitutes not going to jail for prostitution? Because it's illegal in the United States.
You get what I'm saying?
It's still prostitution is still illegal. So why are they coming? They're getting immunity for their testimonies. Why? Because for what?
Why they not being
You know what I'm
prosecuted?
saying? Why are they not being prosecuted? Why is
Why they
Cassie not being prosecuted? She's
for
involved in it too.
He's
Supposedly
involved?
getting women. She's involved. She's a collaborator. She's getting immunity for her testimony.
He couldn't have,
Other
he
people,
couldn't
why are they
order
not
all,
doing it?
he couldn't have ordered all them people by himself. He wouldn't have done that every
Exactly.
time.
No, he wouldn't have done it. First of all, he's got assistants. He's got security. He's got other people. He's a billionaire. He's not doing it. He's not going to do that. That's
Somebody's offering
somebody else.
everybody else protection, bro. They just they
Exactly.
pick him up. It's one of two things, bro. He put himself in there to protect himself.
Yeah.
Because after you
Probably.
get after that case though,
Yeah.
after you
Yeah.
get your settlement from one of the largest liquor companies, bro, you kind of
Mhm.
gotta watch out for yourself, man. Now,
You might have to because they might have tried to get, but you know the thing is, he might have feel like going there. Now they're linking him to Tupac's, trying to link him to
oh,
Tupac's murder, trying to link him to Biggie's murder. I mean, they're really putting the screws on him. You know what I'm saying?
yo, bro,
They're really putting the screws on him.
we're watching extremely long public lynching, and it's
Exactly.
kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But let's get into personal beliefs. I personally believe he's not going to do much time if he does time at all.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be prosecuted for it. And here's my why. If the same people who got everybody else off is working his case, that's a very strong. That's a very strong,
strong indicator. Of course, he's a billionaire; he can afford it.
Now, there's just certain things that they're not going to allow to be put into court, and certain things they are. Now, the stuff that they allowed already, which is kind of wild, how they could,
it is wild.
They're admitting fingerprints that aren't even available now.
Yeah,
like, which is crazy.
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, we're going to use the fingerprints from blah blah blah. They're like, but you can't even use them. You can't even see them. You can't identify anything off of it. You're just saying that they were there.
Yeah,
that's probably not going to stick.
Yeah, most likely not.
This is just way too high.
It's circumstantial at best.
Long, and also my number one reason why he's probably going to sit at home sooner or later is he was probably at those Epstein. He was probably in the Epstein files.
Probably was.
Along with Donald Trump and some other people.
Along with Bill Gates, along with some people of the royal family, with the Clintons, all of them.
If you let that stuff out and there's no consequences against it, people are gonna go crazy.
Exactly. And that's the thing, man. See, the thing is you can only blow up Diddy so much because Diddy probably got a lot of people on record for doing some of these acts. They're very famous who don't want to end their careers or want their names out there. That's why people are in Hollywood are silent. You don't hear anything from them. They're not defending him, but they're not saying anything against it either because they're part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think my final thought on this is that I feel like you said, I agree with you. I feel like Diddy will either end up out, gonna end up in either dead from some situation, some mysterious situation. But I don't think so because he's so popular. I don't think they would want to make him a martyr. It's different from Jeffrey Epstein, where Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a famous individual. Nobody knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. He was a fixer, and he probably supposedly Diddy had places that led to his place that led to Jeffrey Epstein's other houses or other houses that had underground tunnels, supposedly, right?
Mm.
So I feel like he and Jeffrey Epstein kind of trafficked in the same kind of like places because they both were billionaires, both kind of worked in that same situation where they were providing these parties so people could do their freak offs with whatever they wanted to do with
Mhm.
underage individuals and be able to do what they wanted to, and they were all high and drugged up, and people were getting sick, and that's why like even Jamie Foxx was probably involved in these parties because he had parties too. You know what I'm saying? And he had to get poisoned for or something had to get into his system to recognize, yo, I need to get away from all this stuff. He nearly almost died from it. So, or
Mhm.
maybe he threatened P. Diddy. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
We
But
don't know. We
my
don't know.
my we don't know. We don't know. Just hearsay. But I'm thinking in my mind that Diddy's probably gonna get out eventually with a slap on the wrist. He's gonna probably go into security for a little while and come back out again, or just do the OJ thing and just be chill. You know what I'm saying? Just
Look,
fade away. You know what I'm saying?
look, man. The man's got so much money, man. But we don't have
Yeah,
as much time as he got money, man. So
exactly.
what we want y'all to do, Next Level
Mhm.
Nation, we want y'all to write what
Let's go.
y'all think
Yes,
about this
put it
in the
down.
comments, man. Put it down. Right if you think we're totally wrong, if you think we're totally right,
If you
if
think
you
we're wrong,
agree, if you got like
never
if you
wrong.
got a theory that coincides with
Mhm.
ours or don't coincide with us, we want you to write it down in the chat, man. Write it down in the
Put it
comments.
in the chat, please.
Comment,
Comment,
and
comment,
subscribe.
and subscribe. Subscribe
Subscribe,
right now if
man.
you want more
That's what
content.
we're talking
Let's
about. You want
go
more
with it.
content? Let's go. You
Let's
want it?
go.
You
Come
want it?
on
We
now.
got it, man. Next Level
Let's go.
Nation.
We
We're
got it.
here. You got to get it. You got to get it.
You got to
And
get
with
it.
that
You
being
got to
said,
get it.
TPMT, man. Hey, man. If they don't
King
know,
D Money. Now you know.
now you know.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.